sitting around running around talking about my husband and the father of my children, and she spends her weekends peddling through sperm banks, looking through catalogs to try to find a donor. Honey, you don't know if your baby daddy will be an axe murderer or a child molester, because what you will know is that he needed $10 to get him a medium-sized pizza, so he ejaculated in a cup so you could have a kid. Now check that.
Okay. Now, let me tell y'all, that is literally the only moment in RHOA Phaedra Park's history that I will ever give her any type of 10. Hell, even a 5. She read her for heaven and earth. Read Kenya Moore for filth. Legendary read. Just as legendary as her exit. You know, I will forever stand with Candy on that. And I low-key stand against her. But anyway, y'all already know how I feel. Welcome, 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 welcome. I appreciate y'all for tuning in this evening. Everyone catching the live and those that will be catching the replay. I do appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. And to go a step further, I humbly ask that you tap that notification bell. That way you'll be updated each and every time I'm uploading something new. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram at YBSpeaks. Okay? Hello, God. Not sure what was going on earlier. I had to end that stream, delete it, and start a new one. My mic was not working for some reason. My LED lights in my room are losing their fucking minds. I don't know what is going on. There's a lot of stormy weather the past couple of days down here in Florida. You know, it's hurricane season, and as we get closer into fall, that's when we start to see, you know, those weather manifestations, honey. So forgive me for that, and those that took the time again to come back, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Oh, girl, this has been a weird week. I don't know. Life just be life, and honey, you know what I mean? And you just gotta. I'm one of those people like happen. I like become a turtle. I need to do like a full cleanse, mind, body, and spirit. Cause you just know you get tired of this the rigmarole, honey. Shout out to Mariah Carey, honey. She's being honored tonight. Hello, God. I'm the with the VMAs child. She's getting the Vanguard Award. Shout out to her. And real quick, I'm always gonna defend the Queen. Hello, God. A lot of people are saying they don't think she deserves the Vanguard Award because she doesn't have music videos that are worthy. Oh, girl. Y'all girls love to hate Mariah. Y'all love to hate Mariah, girl. We're talking about a career that spans 30 plus years. We're talking about one of the only people from this time, from that time, that's still alive that has any connection to the greats such as Michael Jackson. Are we to act like they didn't have a friendship and know each other? You're talking about the creator of what music videos are today. She had proximity, friendships, and connections with these people. You're talking about one of the most well thought out, active. I want to be very clear when I use the word active. She's one of the only people That's why a lot of artists nowadays don't have shit because they're not involved in their process. Mariah Carey is involved in her process. While was it Boys to Men? I think Candy Bird said that when she wrote a song with Boys to Men or something like that, they disrespected her. But when they were in, the presence of the great Mariah, when they did that song together, and I know you're shining down on me from heaven. Honey, Mariah did not receive any of that because they know to respect the queen. Period. You have to command it, girl. Your aura says it all. Hello. Anyway, shout out to Mariah. She definitely deserves it. For those that are the naysayers on why she doesn't deserve the award, look at her videography, honey. Go down the many, many, many roads. Okay, the path to Mariah Carey's amazing goddess imprint on the culture. Okay, please, please do. I'm not even going to spend any more time on that. Just the proof is in Hello God doing a cute little search in YouTube and going down the things. All right. You know what made her videos more special? When you are the main writer or co-writer in your shit, you know what your most singers, entertainers are visual people. So her videos were that much more entertaining. You felt more engaged because you know this is something that was written by her. So she's able to make it translate in visual art. That's what makes it better than a lot of your faves. Okay. Okay, Mr. Garrison. Anyway, honey, um, what's up, Jace? Chloe, how are you? Infinite Intelligence, hello. Jordan Marie, hello, how are you? Welcome, everybody. So, if a lot of people aren't here tonight, it's probably why they're watching the VMAs, I believe. So, again, shout out to Mariah. Do your thing, bro. Stop hating, Jace. Your faves could never. And you know what? I want to say this. Mariah Carey was actually on Kai Cenat recently. And although brief, she made an appearance. And I just thought to myself, I said, self said, I was like, girl, she's really serving just as it relates to how you're supposed to promote and market your projects. Mariah Carey is giving the girls a masterclass in marketing and utilizing your resources, your connections, and not being afraid to get in line with the times. That's why a lot of old cunts remain bitter. Hello, God. They remain dry. Hello, God, because they don't like to step outside of themselves and just say, you know what, if you can't beat them, sometimes you got to join them, girl. Period. Mariah's giving the girls a masterclass on how to serve these streets and give us our daily bread, honey. Hello. Shout out to the goddess giving us our daily bread, honey. Our wine to represent her blood. The bread to represent flesh. I'm just saying, the girl, like this, it's just giving. She's been on a promotional run for the girl that can barely walk in 6 inch heels. Girl, hello God, she's doing a lot of running around these streets promoting the hell out of this album. It better be good. And I want the younger girls to take a look at what real promotion looks like. It's not about just doing a podcast. You got to really run the circuit, girl. This is how albums used to be selling, girl. We're talking about You don't see the girls selling 200,000 a week like they used to. You don't see. There's no more of that. Now we're giving credit to girls who are selling 12,000 units in a week. The girls are getting their things for that. Girl, times have changed, honey. So y'all girls take notes. Mariah's showing y'all how it's done. Um, since we're speaking on Kasana, I just want to bring this up real quick. So today I was flipping through TikTok, and you know he has his Mafia 3 stream going on now. And at this point, it's just a little redundant. It's basically the twin version of Mafiathon 2. Nothing's really changed other than, I guess, the house. But same tactics, same foolishness, same everything pretty much. It's just kind of old at this point. But nonetheless, you know, I do enjoy certain elements. I so Casanat has a friend called Dez, right? And apparently him and Casanat's protege, honey, Rakai, which is a 16-year-old boy, um, on his way to do great things. Hello God. And this is the thing I don't try to speak too much on the streamers and stuff. Like, they're really cut from the same cloth as the Vine girls and the pranking YouTubers back in the day that had their rise and great fall. There's always a transition. That's why I tell people, like, don't, in entertainment, you can never rely on security. Actors, singers, anything in entertainment, you can never rely on security. So when y'all see these girls popping out, or they got a popular moment and they trying to drag it, let them drag it, girl. Let them have the fame real quick. They need it, because it's not guaranteed that the next season is going to be their season. We see it all the time, even with our favorites. There will never be another Bruce Willis. There will never be another Angelina Jolie. There will never be another Mariah. There will never be another Beyonce. There will never be another anybody in those different categories of entertainment. The ones that have that legendary, iconic status, that are able to consistently work and be revered as those girls, those top tier girls. Shout out to Jet Jeff, fellow God. Like, we'll never see another one of them. Another one of them. Damn, I kind of lost my train of thought. Oh, Jace, I definitely agree. Cardi B also doing the rounds and handling her business while, we're gonna talk about her. She's in the topics of discussion tonight, but she's definitely handling her business too. That's what it is though. Old school, y'all love to do, not y'all, but y'all love to disrespect old school shit. And I just don't think that it's fair, because, like, that's how the girls got it done. This generation, and no offense because I sound like an old cunt, but it's the truth though. Like, y'all rely on streams and digital and all this other stuff. And the way you guys digest music, it's not the same. We talked about that before. I don't want to regurgitate conversations, but that just goes hand in hand with it. Period. Like, there's no real appreciation for music anymore. But eventually, child, the old always comes back to save the new. Period. Period. And I'm not delusional, Jace. I'm just speaking facts, girl. um, so let's just get into it while we're here. Oh, Young Thug. Talk about a chatty Cathy girl. You know what? You know what? I hollered and screamed when someone edited a photo of Young Thug's face in the Lady Whistle Down pamphlet. It's in the thumbnail I posted. Girl, for those that don't know, if you got into Bridgerton, girl, over there on Netflix, honey, Shonda Rhimes, the show, it's really, really good. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And her Lady Whistledown is basically the young lady in this society who's the like a gossip girl kind of vibe. Like she's writing about all of the socialites and the elites and just spraying all the gossip, and the town just loves it, girl. They eat this stuff up. It even like got to the queen, girl, and the queen was really involved in the tea. She was a messy cunt. They just a messy. It's really good. It's messy, you know. And so the person is named Lady Whistledown. So that is what the kids in the streets are calling Young Thug now. And I just can't get it out of my mind. It's so hilarious. It's funny. She's a hot mess. She, you know, and what kills me even more about this Chatty Cathy is that you all that time in prison or jail, my bad, she was in jail. All that time in jail, you didn't think to do a push up, a sit up, all that. I don't, unless they froze your assets, you know, and you froze your bank accounts and things of that nature, which I doubt because you still had to pay for that legal team somehow. I'm quite sure you had access to, you know, a higher level of commissary. You're not the other girls. You weren't the co-defendants. You know, you're Young Thug. You're rich, right? So you say. I'm just wondering, like, you didn't. I guarantee you, if we saw the receipt, because we're girl, I forget, is it DeKalb County, Cobb County, whatever county, girl, they're releasing all the tea. Can we get the receipts, the commissary receipt? I want to know. I really want to see like all the Debbie cakes and the hot Cheetos, girl, and I just the sausages, girl, the pickle eggs. I know y'all get all that shit. I just would love to know. I guarantee you, it's a lot. As much as he was talking, there's probably so much more on those receipts, and that's probably what led him to become the Chatty Cathy that he was. Not only was it boredom from being locked up, you know how the girls get. They get a little sassy while they're behind bars, or their brain seepeth out of the ear. Okay. So they go to losing their mind and become delirious. So when they finally have some company or time to talk, you know, they get to really chatting it up. But I think the real catalyst is all the trash he was eating. Yeah. It's giving unhealthy. Girl, she didn't do it. She's built so funny right now. And you know, I took the opportunity last night while taking a shower to listen to Young Thug's like first interview since, you know, all this stuff has been happening. He sat down with I forgot that guy's name. Bank, I think it is. I didn't listen to all of it. I listened to most of it. And because I always like to hear both sides of everything. And I said, you know what? We're sitting around here judging this man. Let's listen to what he has to say. And the more he talked, the more I realized, girl, he's retarded. I can't know. Certain stuff on like a street level I could understand, but nah, he's not all the way there. He's a few French fries short of a Happy Meal. Like he's definitely mentally challenged, socially challenged. He's just challenged. His whole appearance is a challenge. Um, First of all, I just want to discuss a few things that were in the audios that were recently released, right? And it seems, Mariah, the scientist, when she's not in the lab cooking up, music, she's, playing, the best friend of Lady Whistledown. Mariah, girl, I hope you know it's over for you now. The industry does not like chatty Cathy's, girl. When people feel as if they can't trust you because, like, you're part of an elite group of people where there has to be a certain amount of trust because only you guys can relate to your experiences. You're on a different level. You have fame, most have fortune and glory, right? That's an elite, top tier group of people that do other weird, crazy shit around those people because they're like minded. Oh, you'll understand. Like, we'll never be able to understand a P. Diddy experience. You know why? Because we're not part of that elite group of people. The energy is not the same. The reason why is not the same. Ridiculously rich, wealthy people are the most freakiest, nastiest individuals because when you're that rich, wealthy, and well known, there's only so much pleasure that you can get. And I don't mean that just in a physical sense, I just mean overall. That's why they say a lot of rich, wealthy people, especially the ones that were, get the fuck out of here. I don't want you in my room, bitch. Get out. Trying to get snuggles. Girl, we don't do snuggles over here. I'm not that emotionally attached, bitch. Anyway, so basically you just have to learn to just shut the fuck up, basically. These people need to feel as if they can trust you. And when we see stuff like this, like Mariah, you pretty much just started. I think you had a little one or twos. I don't really get into non-singers. I'll just be honest with you. And I'm glad that I just have another reason not to like her. So I know a lot of y'all think she can sing. That girl cannot sing. I'm just telling. Girl, you'll give her a chance, but what about Johnny Blaze? A bitch with an actual voice. Hello. Period. Um, but Lady Whistledown is just too busy just chatting it up. One thing that caught me was the Glorilla conversation. You literally sat there and talked about this girl in such a way that bothers our minds because Lady Whistledown, did you ever in your life look in a mirror? Have you seen yourself? Have you looked in a puddle? Hello, God. The rear view mirror, girl. I know you probably got blacked out tints. Have you gazed upon yourself? Have you seen what you look like? That's the crazy thing is you have these girls that sit up here and that look like pigs and shit, malnourished. Girl, you're a mess. And then you try to apologize and blame it on the fact that when you're locked up and you're just talking. Nah, girl, you felt that. You felt every word of that. And you commented on somebody's looks, but if we go down the many roads of when you were in dresses, when you were wearing hot pink lipstick, when you were calling your homeboys, Bay and hubby and shit, right? When you were spread down, hello God, in a skirt. Yeah. You must have forgot all the times, and you've never been attractive, in my opinion. Because when you first came out, it was definitely giving feed the children. But we know that was just all the drugs and shit. And what happens is when you go to jail and when you're sat down, hella guy, when you're incarcerated for a little minute, what happens is your body starts to purge itself from all the filth because you no longer have access to drugs of choice. And this is the real him. This is how these guys look. Ooh, speaking of that, have y'all seen Blueface? Girl, hot mess. They done turned him out in that girl. I'm telling you, girl, they got that booty popping. I'm telling you, girl. Girl. But anyway, um, yeah, honey, Miss Lady Whistledown just needs to shut the fuck up. And on top of that, girl, how about she was talking about her homegirl in Hood Christ, Future Girl. Apparently, Mariah the Scientist and Lady Whistledown were cackling over the fact that Future is a deadbeat dad, girl, and he has every person he gets with, he has babies by them and doesn't take care of them. And girl, just diving in all the mess and tea, girl. Girl, and someone else called her Wendy Williams. Girl. Girl, I just going against Future is the wrong thing to do because, like, well, again, we got to give him his things. When you think of Atlanta, it used to be like Ti, right? But now you have no choice but to give it to Future. When I think of Atlanta music, I now think of Future. Of course, no disrespect to old school like Ludacris and a lot of the other girls, Little John and all the boys, Usher and shit. TLC, I believe, is from Atlanta. I think they are. I'm not sure. But no disrespect. But like nowadays, like Future is the name. When you think of rap music, you think of Future. So it's just like, what are you? I don't see how you're going to navigate your rap career moving forward. Because and you know what, this takes me back to the whole like Young Thug versus Gunna, being a snitch and a rat. And as these leaked calls are coming out, right? And we hear Young Thug speak about Gunna the way that he does, you're jealous and you're mad that the world that we live in today, we don't give a fuck about no snitches like that. Can we just tell the truth? Like, I'm never going to be mad at someone for deciding to preserve their life. Sorry, YSL was a gang and probably still is. Contrary to what Young Thug stated in that recent interview that he did, YSL did meet the criteria for being labeled a gang. In order for an investigation of that magnitude to have taken place, you had to have met the criteria. Period, girl. Like, I don't, it's really that simple. So, as long as Gunna didn't technically say you did anything specific, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really into stuff like that. Because, girl, you probably was involved in that stuff too. But if all he said, because I believe that's the argument, all Gunna said was, and that he had to admit to, that YSL was considered a gang. Did he snitch? Yes. But if it's not being specific to anything, then it is what it is, girl. I'm not doing 100 years for some foolishness. I don't blame him. And his music and what he meant to his fans was obviously greater than what you thought was going to be his downfall, which is the snitching. So Young Thug is just mad. And what's even worse here is that not only is Gunna flourishing, you now have Young Thug being questioned about his own loyalties, his own credibility, trustworthiness. That is going to be the downfall of Young Thug. And I'm happy, and I want this to be a lesson to everyone else too. Shut the fuck up sometimes. Please, just be quiet. I've had to learn that too in my life. I recently just learned that. Sometimes it's just best to shut the fuck up. Mind your business and keep it moving. Period. Period. It is what it is. And it's time to be gone with gang culture. It's time to be gone with all of those nefarious groups that really don't mean the communities any good. It's time to do away with that whole mentality and what that is. We need to be doing a lot better. Period. Like, let this be an example to that. But it also needs to be an example on why we need the funding in these communities that we need, why we need the help and the kindness from, state lawmakers or, whatever social agencies are out there. We need better in our communities in order for the communities to be better. So there's a lot to be said in that aspect. Um, because I totally get it too. Watching a little bit of that interview that he did, he talked about his growing up and the things that he experienced and the struggles of life and living in a certain environment and the things that you learn in that environment and what ultimately will create the person that you are today. That's so true. I was just talking to my niece yesterday. She has a quiz that she's doing for psychology, and we were having a conversation about environmental factors that will dictate who you are as a person. And sometimes that's a good thing, but most of the times it's a very bad thing. So I do believe that how you grow up, where you grow up, how do you feel, the environment in which you are will have a lot of power on who you become, why you think the way you think, why you feel the way you feel about certain shit, um, responses, reactions to situations, circumstance, and people, how you treat others, how you treat yourself. We talk about that over here a lot on this platform. So there's like a 2% of understanding that I have towards people like Young Thug. I heavily relate to a lot of that shit too. But there has to come a time where you can level with yourself enough, be honest, and say, you know what, that's really trauma responses. And most trauma responses are not good. So you have to ask yourself, well, that's not a good way to think. I only thought that way and reacted that way or made decisions about certain shit because of my trauma and the things that I experienced in life. So again, there needs to be a balance of understanding. Like, yet we need to root it all out, but at the same time, we need to understand why it exists to begin with. Amen, amen. But yeah, girl, Lady Whistledown, it's over for you, baby. I'm sorry. I believe it's done. I believe it's done. And, you know, he mentioned something in the interview that had me thinking. In regards to all of the leaked jail calls, he said that about a year and a half ago, when one of the first jail calls were released, he got with his attorneys. They ended up filing some type of, you know, paperwork with the courts to have all of those calls or any kind of calls like blocked from being able to be accessed by the public. So he says that that's how he knows someone saved the original ones. More than likely, you know, during the discovery process, you know, that's when you present all of your, you know, alleged facts and evidence and things of that nature, and, you know, anything pertaining to the case before you go to trial. So they're thinking, well, he's thinking that that's how he knows someone in that area, more than likely the prosecution, saved those voice calls. And I just want to say this. There has to be a law that's being broken by doing that. I just, that's state's evidence. It's property of the state. And if someone is just taking that property and releasing it, don't you think that that could fuck something up later on? Let's say there is an active investigation going on into YSL. I don't know where the case is actually at because, again, I don't really care that much to follow stuff like that. But like, I just think that that is such a violation, not for Young Thug's sake, but just for the integrity of the case, because this really makes the legal system look like the joke that we always laugh at anyway. Like, this is not helpful to that department, whether it's the attorneys, whether it's the prosecutor, whether it has to have this evidence, to have this stuff, you have had to have access, which means you're part of something important in that team. So I just think there's too many leaks in the building. And again, we're not saying this in defense of Young Thug. We're saying it's just as professionalism and privacy. You know what I mean? Like, I could appreciate it, you know, because I'm on the outside. But like, I can only imagine how he feels. And like, even in the legal world, like, we can't be having leaks in the building like this. It's just weird. And again, it makes the people lack the already lacking trust in the legal system. Because you really are, let's just tell the truth, you're just kicking it with your homegirl. You know, y'all just catching up on the T world, and you want to spray some of the niggas because you're mad that you're locked up, girl. You have nothing else to do but dwell on other people's success because you currently don't have none. I can understand, girl. Lying all alone on the bedroom floor because he's hungry. And the only way to feed him is give him a phone and let him act like Lady Whistledown. And your daddy's on. Yes, girl, honey, Young Thug was out to being a young punk, girl, a punk. And you know, I want to speak on something else he said before we move on. Young Thug really pissed me off when he had the conversation about the LGBTQ community. And he had an issue with, you know, I guess some of his homeboys that flipped on him. He's airing their tea out, basically calling them down low because he knew that they were messing around with sissies. And I was like, girl, you know the rumors of you years ago. Like, we just talked about them earlier. Like, it was rumored that you were on that. It was rumored that you and, you know, Baby had a relationship. There have been constant rumors about you. And not just based on how you used to dress and your antics, there were a lot of other things that were said about you. So now on Mad Day, In the moment, you were cool with them niggas, right? You were cool with them liking the sissies because you probably was doing it too. Y'all probably was doing it to each other. Tell the truth. Mm-hmm. And now on Mad Day, you want to air the girls out. Girl. No, 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 no. And you want to talk about the gays, girl. Like, just like Little Booty, y'all are heavily invested in gay business. Heavily invested for niggas who just, you're never around any bitches. You just stay up around some niggas all day long, trying to impress other niggas. Girl, please, you're built like I am Groot. Girl, I am Groot. Bitch, built ass. Girl, please. Mariah the Scientist, girl, get in the lab and cook him up a new body, bitch. Hello, God. Hello, God. Get in that lab, girl. Get in that Dexter's laboratory, girl. The laboratory. Get in that laboratory, girl, and whip your man up a new body, bitch. And a new skin regimen. Daddy look like he got leprosy, bitch. Girl, get on a juice cleanse. Girl, all that inflammation in that gut. It's looking like she has stuffed newspaper in a Christmas sweater, girl. No God. Anyway, I'm sure more stuff is gonna come out. It is unfortunate because, like I said again, I don't really like that the legal system. There's so many leaks in that building. He pled. He did what he had to do, girl. I guess they say justice was served in the situation. I just think it's time to let that go. I'm just gonna be honest with you because it's laughed. The community, the culture laughs at him. That's true, and he's the brunt of the joke. But on the serious level, though, this should make us question our privacy. This should make us question. Damn, these girls are recording us. Yes, but to release them, that's like an attack. That's almost like harassment. He might have a lawsuit on his hands. Who knows? He gonna need the money because he ain't gonna be making it from music. Girl, he might have to move to Grenada, honey. Okay, get the hell up out of here. Anyway, so as we are having the conversation of lawsuits, I want to shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. Allegedly, um, she is aiming at filing a lawsuit, or allegedly has already filed one, but is trying to get Adin Ross, one of the top streamers, hello God, allegedly she's trying to get him served. So it's being said, child, in these streets, girl, that Megan and her legal team has made several attempts to serve Adin Ross. So they decided to get a little creative. And allegedly, Megan Thee Stallion's legal team sent a mariachi band to play in front of Adin Ross's home or wherever he dwells. And apparently that was a deception. Okay. uh, in order to try to serve Adin Ross, which it's being said that that attempt failed and that he was not actually served. Apparently, DJ Academics is also being served, trying to be served as well. I don't really. I try to limit my conversation on that Ninja Turtle built ass bitch, because like he's nothing. I don't even know why people keep talking to this man. But in a world where we're allowing chatty Cathy niggas to exist, the lady whistle downs of it all. Actually, he was probably the first lady whistle down, DJ Academics, if you want to tell the truth. Anyway, but I just, Adin Ross, I don't know if y'all even know who he is, but very popular streamer. One of the first. Pro MAGA, drains our culture dry for his own, pleasures and wealth without really respecting us at all. And he lost me when he was out here giving Trump his things. He also lost me when he allowed himself and his people to play on Kai Cenat's Black Time, Hello God. He also lost me during the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion situation, where if you know Adin Ross like that or watch his stuff, you know that he is basically here in this existence because of the one, I believe one of the first real viral videos where Tory Lanez was a guest on his one of his earlier streams, and Tory Lanez did a fire ass freestyle. Now I'll say this: I don't like Tory Lanez, but I didn't start not liking him. Well, when he was beating up the girls, and then that Megan Thee Stallion stuff really took the cake for me. But as an artist, as a rapper, as a freestyle, Tory Lanez is in a lot of ways in his own lane. Period. Like, he's very gifted, but who you are as a person sucks. I can't celebrate you. Sorry, bitch. You know what I mean? So Adin is obviously taken up for his homeboy, and I believe that you can take up for your friend even when the world, including myself, thinks that you're wrong and you're a horrible person. Take up for your friend. I'm not going to be mad at that, bro. That's your friend. But to take up for him in a way that you demean, you tear down a black woman in order to lift up your friend. Sorry, girl. The evidence was evidencing. Your friend is in prison for a reason. He's a criminal. He's a woman beater. He's a sociopath. He's a liar. He's a narcissist. You weren't there. You don't know. And the awful things that Adin Ross was saying about Megan Thee Stallion could borderline, and actually, in my opinion, is defamation of character. You are a popular streamer who has the ability to influence and impact. A lot of people take your word as bond, right? That can be damaging to someone like Megan Thee Stallion. Period. So if she is suing you, I hope it's for everything you have. It needs to be. You need to be stripped of your rank, lands, and titles, bitch. It's time for you to go, girl. It's time for you to go. Love don't live here anymore for you. Sue him into oblivion, take his money. All of it. That's what he values the most anyway. Speaking of, another lawsuit, there has been another win for Cardi B. And I want this to be the takeaway. Cardi B said it perfectly in her, statement to the press after, the the courts rendered their verdict that she's good. Y'all cannot be mad when these girls or guys take y'all to court, and win against you because you have decided to file frivolous lawsuits because you think that the people are just going to settle. You're not Cassie, bitch. Hello, God. You're not Cassie, girl. You have to have real evidence to prove without a reasonable doubt. Y'all don't be having that. Because these are celebrities, you think they don't have the time for court. Cardi B said, "Girl, I had to miss my children's first day of school. I have to miss a lot of stuff. I got to get up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning just to get ready to come here." She took the time that a lot of y'all thought that these types of girls don't have to defend themselves on the stand, and then to come out winning against you. You got nothing from this. You got to pay a lawyer for nothing. You didn't even get a penny or a scratch off, bitch. You wasted your time, and you wasted Cardi's time because someone told you that, oh, they might settle. Whoever gave you that advice, girl, that's advice from the early 90s, 2000s, girl. I'm pro. And she said, you know what? I'm gonna save her broke ass this time, but the next time a bitch does this to me, I'm countersuing you and I'm coming for your money. And I don't even, let me tell the truth too. I don't even care if you work at McDonald's, girl. I'm suing you for that little bit of check. You're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today. Okay. Period. Period. So shout out to Cardi B and shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. I want that to be a lesson for people, girl. Leave these folks alone. Mind your business. If you weren't there and you don't know, shut the fuck up. It has nothing to do with you. Because at the end of the day, do you know your friend? Do you know your homeboy? Do you know these people? No, not really. No, not really. You know the famous version of them. You don't know the personal version of them. And no, Megan Thee Stallion or her legal team has not responded to these claims. So again, all of this is just allegedly. I wanted to finish what I was saying about Kai Cenat's mafia thon. I think I went on a tangent earlier, but before I share the link and we get y'all up here, if y'all want to come up here, I do want to say this. So when I was on TikTok and I was watching some of the clips from the stream, there was an argument between Kai Cenat's one of his best friends and his protege Rakai, which again is a 16-year-old boy. And there's a lot of I don't want to say in fact. I'm gonna say what I believe because I'm usually good at connecting the dots, and because they're streaming live, there's not they're doing the best they can to speak in innuendo. The boy Dez, if you again are used to watching the streams, he's a crash out. He's always arguing. You know the New York niggas, child. They always hollering and screaming, girl. Anybody got time for that, girl? Either you gonna do something or not. We don't have time for all that hooping and hollering, girl, like Jennifer Hudson and Fantasia, girl. We don't have time for none of that. Period, girl. Either we gonna do it or not. Like all that arguing and wasting in vocal health. No, I'm good. Um, but yeah, they argued, right? Dez said a lot of things without saying a lot of things towards Rakai and to Kai that made me believe that Dez was low key outing Rakai for potentially being gay. I might be wrong here. I hope that I am wrong here. But trying to connect the dots in the argument in the way that Dez was saying a lot without saying a lot, the energy in which he was saying what he was saying without saying what he was saying, it led me to believe that the group, including Kai himself, are aware that Rakai is potentially gay. And I just want to say, if this is true, Dez, you need your ass whooped. Dez, I would be surprised if Kai lets you around anymore because there are rules, there are terms and conditions for every social media platform. More specifically, when we talk about Kick or Twitch or any YouTube, it could be YouTube, StreamYard. There are certain things you cannot say. But more specifically for people like Kai Cenat who rely on brand deals and sponsorships and, again, staying in a space where he's not being banned because his people are crashing out saying F-bombs and, calling out the very powerful group that is the LGBTQ community. Hello, God. The girls are scared to talk. Girl, you see what happened to the baby's career, girl. It's in the trash. Okay. You see, the girls have to be very mindful about what they speak on in this community now. I think they're starting to understand. Um the way in which I felt like they tried to clean it up though towards the end, I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I might be right. People have always, since Rakai was introduced to, the streaming world, and the more we've seen, there have always been these accusations of him being gay. And it was just based on him utilizing the gay stereotypical persona, being overly flamboyant, using certain slang, breaking the wrist, certain physical behaviors. And then not really seeing how he is with girls. It's very awkward, but then again, I do chalk that up to him being young. It's possible. And you know why I would hope that it is? If this young man can truly navigate the right way, he could be one of the first top black gay streamers. If this is true, and let's say AMP and Kai are trying to keep it on the hush because they don't know how to deal with that yet publicly, I feel like if this is true, and again, I might be wrong, if at some point he does, let's say he is, and he decides to come out without being dragged out the closet from some hating ass nigga, okay? Um, I would love to see what that would look like. And if he is, and let's say AMP and Kai are trying to keep that information under wraps, I would love to know why. I hope it's not because you're ashamed of it, or I just would love to know why. Again, I could just be having this conversation just to have it. I don't really know. Is it really our business? No, but when y'all do stuff like this, you leave things open to interpretation. And I really wish I could do a share screen so I could share the clips and we could watch it together and you guys could, chime in on that, because that's what it's giving. That's what it's giving. I'm sharing the link in the chat with you guys. I'll be up here for maybe another 30 minutes if someone or anybody wants to come up and, chat it up real quick. Give your thoughts on the topics or anything else. Dealer's choice. But yeah, girl, I don't know. I would hope, I kind of hope it is true. Like I said, I would, again, navigating that the right way could lead that boy into some prosperous lands and give some type of representation to the community. But like I said before, I don't know. I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. But girl, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see, girl. Whew, girl. When is Chase in Orlando coming? Because, girl, I hope y'all ready for the new Kiki panel. Yes, God, I know I am. Uh, yes, honey. The Kiki panel will be coming on soon. Make sure you guys are getting ready for that. Child, there's a lot of YouTube mess. I don't even try anymore. I don't even want to be involved in none of that. I have thoughts though, but like to make those thoughts public is it's only gonna start a shitstorm. Girl. You know, because I live for a little mess here and there now, child. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But you start giving your opinion and now people try to get you together. And you already know there's none of that over here. Girl, I serve much more than truth and justice, bitch. Y'all know that. And it's really not worth it because, like, when you really think about, like, YouTube drama and, like, a lot of these girls are just. They're. How can I put it? Do what you do, right? Do what you do. But do it in a way that, you know what? I have no comment. You know what? Do what you do. That's all I can say. But don't be surprised, girl. Hello, God, when the karmic wheel or the wheels of justice roll over on your ass. That's all I'm gonna say. Hmm. All right, so I'm just gonna get up out of here then. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Everybody catching this replay, I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy your week. Y'all be blessed and never stressed. And remember that health is truly wealth. And until the next video, guys, take care. Bye.